Hey fellow investors and fellow stock guardians. It's Tuesday, January 12, 2021. I'm Hoda, co-founder and CEO of StockCard, and here's a recap of today's noteworthy movements in the market. The stock market indices had an abrupt dip midday and then recovered to above zero by the end of the day. Investors are watching for the consumer price index report that comes out Wednesday morning and looking for any signs of inflation. Even a small increase in CPI may be interpreted as a sign of inflation and could negatively impact market sentiment. Something to talk about tomorrow. Shares of Zoom were up by more than 5%. As we all know, the company has fallen far from its all-time high of above $400 per share. Today's stock price upward movement came after the news that the company is planning to raise more than $1.5 billion in new capital through a secondary public offering. The stock price jump, however, wasn't due to the news that it is raising money. It was due to the news that more than 1 million customers purchased Zoom's new phone sets. Remember your old cubicles where you had a Cisco phone taking a space on your desk? Well, now Zoom wants to own that space, make those old phones obsolete, now that thanks to the pandemic, we all do Zoom calls every day. Have you guys looked at Mimecast recently? It's an interesting technology company in the cybersecurity industry. It focuses on email security. We all have received the glorious email from a prince who wants to give us millions of dollars if we just accept to give him our bank account number. Well, Mimecast protects inbound and outbound email from malware, spam, and threats like the prince emails. Email security industry is growing rapidly at more than 8% per year, and the company has been growing its revenue and its operations generate free cash flow. The reason I noticed it today is that it popped up on the list of losers stocks of the day. Shares of Mimecast were down by more than 13%. The stock price has been falling steadily over the last few days. The price drop came after the news that the company's security certification was compromised. The breach impacts 10% of the company's customers. Cybersecurity breaches are always events that turn the sentiment negative, and it's more damaging when the folks who should be able to protect their customers get breached themselves. It's worth watching Mimecast to see how the situation pans out and whether there would be an opportunity to pick up shares at a reasonable price. If you have paid attention to the news these days, there is so much talk about market crash at the same time as the market keeps hitting all-time highs. It's a dichotomy. Everybody is getting ready for a crash while the stock market keeps hitting all-time highs. On the one hand, when a new year arrives, everybody focuses on the annual stock market return, and with all this is wrapping one of their best years in the history of the stock market, it's only natural to think things would surely stop at some point. Beyond the psychological aspects of what goes up must go down at some point, the rise of the long-term yield of the US 10-year treasuries above 1% is being interpreted as a sign for a market crash. According to Axios, investors piled $29.1 billion into cash, $14.9 billion into bonds, and $1.5 billion into gold, while the stock market inched upward last week. And we all know how much money is being piled into cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin. It seems everybody is getting ready for a crash. That's it for today. If you like these quick market recap reports directly from my daily stock market research, please like and subscribe and share with your fellow investors. I'll see you tomorrow.